Always fresh and a little bit sticky. Keep it locked on Cannabis Wiki. We're always fresh and a little bit sticky. The green room on Cannabis Wiki.
Hey everybody, welcome to Paradise Cannabis in Fort Erie. Our next guest is a really special interview. This is a local hero, definitely. Not even local anymore, now international hero. Thank you so much for what you do. And this is Justin Preston. Justin Preston and Crystal Chronic, my co-host. Hey, Crystal.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the Green Room. So this is not going to be about cannabis. This is going to be about community and kindness and peace and love, right?
I love this. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
So my name is Justin Preston. I'm born and raised in Fort Erie, and I had created a global campaign called Rise Against Bullying, which has reached over thousands of people across Canada and around the world.
Wow. So, and why did you, I mean, I know my own personal story, why it's so necessary, but why did you feel it was so necessary to bring this forward and to start something like this? What was your personal story?
So with growing up in a small community, I unfortunately received a lack of love from fellow students, and I was treated very unfair by many in my community. So I ended up finding that we needed more love, and I needed to take that negative and turn it into a positive by using my voice to speak up for those that are voiceless. And by doing that, I did not realize the ripple effect it would make by sharing your story and helping others in our community to relate and realize that they're not alone in this world.
Oh, thank you for doing this. Now, so your personal story with bullying from a small town, you've decided your initiative is Rise Against Bullying. Thank you. And it has gone, this is now something international. It's not just, how did that happen?
So absolutely. So it started with one school onto another. And again, it was just simply sharing my story. And while I was being able to shake those fears and go through that stage fright, and at the end of the day, I always said it wasn't about me. It was about me using my voice to be a voice for those 13-year-old Justins out there that feel like they are worthless and don't belong. And by doing so, it created a ripple effect across Canada where I ended up touring with other motivational speakers and touching so many lives by just simply being me.
Wow. I love that. I can't imagine some of the stories that people share with you.
It's very heartbreaking. And I think every day people remind me that bullying, unfortunately, is something that I don't think is going to be going away anytime soon, because it seems everyone does have an opinion, whether it's good or bad. And those stories that with parents and young people that reach out to me, I've come to realize that there's a lack of love that a lot of people receive. And if I could just spend some time being there for someone, it could mean the whole entire world.
So is it just as simple as more love? Is it that simple? Like, is it just, or is it listen more, or how can we help this?
So for example, I write over 1,000 Christmas cards every year to people all around the world. And this is hundreds of emails from parents and young teens that are reaching out to me about their situations and stories. And it's really heartbreaking. But by going in and leaving a personalized card to every single person, making every card all handwritten, front and back with pages full, to be a difference, to make a difference, to be a difference in someone's life. When people don't receive that love and support, sometimes that one little Christmas card can mean the whole entire world to someone. And that was something I didn't really understand. But as I've been doing it for 5 years, the outpour of requests come mid-October, and by the time I have them mailed out in December, I'm still receiving so many informations from people.
Oh, wow. I can just imagine. So how did this become international, you said? Like, so you did a video, there was something on social media that went viral?
Yeah, so we can probably start right from the beginning.
Sure.
In 2011, I had shared my story on cue cards called "Who Am I? I'm Just Like You." As I sat there for about 4 minutes, I was in silence, sharing my story through cue cards. And the reason why I did that was because I felt that like I didn't have a voice. as I'm here today, being able to speak with you, it is such an honor. And to be able to use my voice just like I was in that video, at that time, I didn't feel like it mattered or I didn't matter. And then by posting this video online and sharing my story of my personal mental health and trying to take my own life due to kids in my school that just used to taunt me and beat me up, and my friends that used to lure me, it was a really hard thing to do growing up at such a young age and not knowing where that safe place would be or a safe person. And by sharing my story, like my mother, who's my number one cheerleader, my biggest supporter, didn't know that I had felt this way or had tried attempting to take my life. And one thing I would recommend to anyone that may be listening right now is my biggest mistake was not being able to speak to my mom about how I was really feeling. And sometimes we have a friend in our life that can just kind of make us feel like we're ourselves and know that they are a safe place to open up and reach out for help, because it's okay not to feel okay. And with this video, it had went viral. Everyone in my community had seen it. And that's where, instead of me being that negative target as this weird kid in the community that wears sequins and makeup and he's a boy and the labels, to using my voice and making a difference and having people talk about that in such a great limelight, that it started to spread with me going into the schools and sharing my story and going to Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and being flown all the way to Alberta with a little community called Airdrie.
Oh, I know where that is.
Airdrie, Alberta. It was the most cutest place ever. And I got to connect with another amazing young person out there named Caitlin, who did Posted Positive, where she would write positive messages on Post-its and stick them all over people's schools, the lockers, and around the community for people to read a positive message.
So it's just something so simple, something so easy. Like if we just all took a moment to do something, spread kindness in some way.
Any positive gesture, really.
Yeah.
And
is this a registered charity? Are you an actual charity, or is it a movement?
So I'm not registered, no, but this is more of like a global campaign that I had started over for 10 years now. With the process of wanting to make it a charity, I've been doing this all by myself since I was 18 years old, and now I'm just getting help. I'm just getting support now. Everything's been all out of my pocket, and the future is so big. And I can't wait to be able to expand into that kind of direction. Being able to have more people involved, more help, because one person can make a difference, but it takes us together to change the world. And sometimes I feel like I'm Superman, but I also have days that I need to realize I can't pour from an empty cup. I have to fill that cup sometimes, and asking for help,
Absolutely,
it's out there. And I'm just slowly starting to say, I need help.
And how can we, as a community and as people listening, how can we help you? Like, how can we, first of all, how do we reach you across socials, or where do we reach you? And then how can we help? Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for sponsors or some sort of corporate donations, just more volunteers? How can we help you?
So anyone that would want to help, they can find more information on my website called www.riseagainstbullying.ca, or you can also find us through riseagainstbullying.org. Same with Instagram at risersrab. And there is a support button on there where it explains all to do with the postage, with all the cards that I do write. A Canadian stamp's $1.14,
Wow.
an American stamp's almost $2, and just to send one card internationally is $3. And if I am writing 1,000+ cards, I make sure, even with my paychecks, that working a 9-to-5 job, that I am still motivated more than ever to be able to send out these cards to people no matter where they live in the world. And it's become a little more costly being able to do so as I'm writing all the way to the United Kingdom, Netherlands,
Wow.
one point Russia and South Africa. And just to know that a little voice that once thought he didn't matter, being able to spark little energies into other people to use their voices, and the reach of being in a little town in Fort Erie to reaching people all across the world. It's still it's mind-boggling being able to be that one person to be a voice for those that can relate.
You're a really
amazing.
beautiful human. You're doing
Thank
some
you.
really beautiful things. It's I don't know if the word is, it sucks that it has to come out of such pain, or it has to come out of such a place where, you've been pushed into a corner or bullied, or so then to do something like this. I'm honored to have you here. Sorry, I'm emotional.
I love you.
I'm like a firecracker that will go off at any time. So it's true an honor to have to speaking to you, and I would love to get involved somehow, and I hope our audience will support. And I mean, this is a really inspiring story. Like, your journey is beautiful. And as a human, what do you do other than this? What are you?
So a lot of people don't know. They like, as you can see, I'm sitting here with full glam makeup and sequins, and I finally treated myself to some beautiful nails. But I'm like the stay-home mom. I am a father. We don't use the word stepdad, but I'm a stepdad. But we say father. I'm one of the dads of two beautiful girls that me and my partner have full custody, and that's a 24-hour job. And not only do I make sure that I'm putting the children first, then I put my partner second, then I put the campaign third, and then I focus on me.
Oh.
So my day-to-day living is waking up every day, making sure I can show these two beautiful girls, which they are so very proud of me. They have been watching from the sidelines, which my 12-year-old Haley actually was kind of tackling her school system, wondering why she wasn't learning anything to do with Black History Month. And why that idea was popped in her head was because she started sending and making pictures online of like a white hand and a colored hand holding hands to kind of make a difference for like Black History Month. And she was so proud to show me this picture.
Oh, I love what
which
you're
I
doing.
was able to use and post online. I'm not a graphic designer, but I feel like I have one now. And it's really cute to see like all these cute little pictures of a globe and people with all different colors of skin, to the point where the skin, like if you have a skin condition or what, she's adding into that. And it's just, again, being a leader, being a voice, being able to guide light.
You've inspired this. You started this reaction for sure, right? They see
Dynamo
you.
effect for sure.
It's really beautiful. And wow, from Fort Erie, when I
Putting
think of what I know,
positivity
it's such
out
a
there.
small town, and I can't imagine.
Right. And as you came to Fort Erie, I'm sure you've noticed that Garrison Road, it's just one big road. It has everything you need. But as you get in a little deeper, you might find some convenient stores around, or a few Avondales, but it's a very small community. And again, growing up here, I was always known as the gay kid, by mouth in a small community. Word travels, and to be where I am today, I could never imagine my world and my life being as happy as I am, feeling like I actually love myself, and being able to be a preacher that can take his own words, but use my voice to show others that if you want to wear a sequin jacket, you can do that. If you want to sing or dance, or if someone's ever told you that you're not good enough or pretty enough or thin enough, I want you to know that you are a goddamn superstar, and that you were born exactly the way that you are, and love who you are. And that all starts by surrounding yourself with positive people, just like you two lovely ladies that I have sitting beside me, which I'm so honored. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming to Paradise Cannabis
We're
and doing
honored to
this
have
with
you
us.
here.
That was a really okay, tell us again how we can reach out and how we can find you on socials.
So you can find me at Justin Preston. Unfortunately, it's at Justin Preston with two N's. So JUSTIN and PRESTONN. And you can find my Instagrams for Rise Against Bullying at RisersRab, at RISERS, and then RAB. And then you can search us on Facebook for Rise Against Bullying. We have over 183,000 likes on there.
Oh, wow. Good
And
for you.
if anyone is willing to spend 49 minutes sitting with their kids or their teen or anyone that they love, and maybe you or someone out there knows someone that's dealing with bullying or has experienced it, I'm very thankful that TELUS had featured me in a documentary called The High Cost of Cyberbullying, which has reached over 1.1 million views, is now also being a tool and resource in the schools that shines light on cyberbullying and sextortion, and how dangerous social media and online can be. And again, privacy, right? We need to make sure that what we're putting out on the internet, and it's going to be out there forever. And if we can talk about safety and be able to use me as an example as well. Being lured by one of my best friends to the person that used to cyberbully me for many years and finally got his dream of being able to beat me up in front of a place, and to go through that in the documentary, and to be able to, to be proud of who I am today. It's the whole reason why I'm here and using my voice to let anyone know that they are not alone. And it's okay to be different. And sometimes you have to make a shift with your friends to be able to live a happy life.
That's, yeah. Kids, I think kids, younger people need to know that, right? It's not always, cool kids might not be the cool kids.
and I give it for the parents. Like, I think that's the toughest job, is being able to wake up every day. And now I'm in the shoes of being a father. This has been going on now 7 years, and that's half of these young little girls' lives I'm involved with. And what breaks my heart is now putting my feet in their shoes and knowing that, oh, they get picked on at school for having 2 gay dads, or why do you have a rainbow flag pin on your backpack? And my very proud daughter, who's so happy that she has 2 dads and screams it from the rooftop. It's another cycle and another explanation of bullying, because now one's being treated unfair just because of home life. And my home life's very rainbow and sequins and diamonds, and my house is so clean, and I have a beautiful studio. But again, you people will judge on the outside, not on the inside, right? And I think it's been a struggle. Not only being a leader, because again, once you're using your voice and going out in the community, you're going to have people out there that don't agree how I'm dressed right now, just wearing a simple sequin coat and wondering if I'm a boy or a girl.
I agree.
There's
How you're dressed.
there's many questions, right? And I guess it's eye-catching, because minutes walking in here, I got to have a lovely conversation with a few people. And again, that is just by being who I am, with the difference I've made. And maybe I didn't know the other 2 out of the 5 that I spoke with, but again, treat everyone how you want to be treated. And sometimes that people forget, it costs $0 to be kind. It costs $0 to be kind to one another. Be kind online, be kind in person, be kind to your community.
Thank you. Like, I'm sweating and nervous, like I'm meeting a fancy star. Like
I kind of walked in and you're like a glowing goddess. You're wearing this beautiful white matching boots, and your hair matches the outfits. You really glowed, and I feel very comfortable.
I'm glad that you saw me, because I feel like I see you, and it's
a
beautiful moment. So thank you for joining us. Crystal, did you have anything else to say?
I love your coat.
Thank you. I appreciate
I've been waiting
you.
to say that since I saw you walk in.
And one thing I love is I love how your sweater matches your eyeshadow, like right to the point.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
Oh, thank you for joining us on the Green Room. Paradise Cannabis in Fort Erie. That was a really beautiful moment, and I can't wait to share this with everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye.
We're always fresh and a little bit sticky. The Green Room on Cannabis Wiki.